What no one ever tells you about having an art show. Art shows can be a whole lot of work with sometimes little to no payoff in the way of sales. Here are some of the things that I like to do as an artist to ensure that I have a successful art show. Come with me behind the scenes from my last art show, and I'm going to share some of the tips and tricks that helped me to ultimately have a successful art show. And really, for me, it's more about connecting face to face with my customer, not so much about the sales. And that's one of the things that I've had to learn over the years in order to really make sure my mindset is in the right place. So let's go. Hello, artist. I am getting ready for my art show, which is on Friday, and I wanted to create a little bit of an art show vlog for all of you and walk you through all of the steps of preparation. Right now, I have paintings that are officially dry, and I'm actually really incredibly grateful because usually my paintings take right around 3 weeks to dry. They should really only be dry this Friday. So I am so incredibly grateful that they're dry in just the nick of time so today's Tuesday and my art show is on Friday, which means that I need to have all of my pieces packed and ready to go. And tomorrow I have this really crazy busy day. Wednesdays are the days that I take my girls to their co-op for our homeschooling. And so I know that the whole day is going to be packed. And so right now, Tuesday, I have to get all of my art signed, which is what I'm doing right now. I have to get it all signed and get it mostly packed up, and I have to decide what art am I going to take. All right, so other side of my studio, I have my wall that I like to hang all of my minis on, and they've been hanging out on the wall for about 3 weeks now. And I am currently just making sure that they're all signed, and I have my handy dandy Costco box here. You know, you use what you have, right? And as I've been trying to prep for talking to you, I keep knocking the paintings over because I just am like that. Now, I want to talk about making sure your pieces are ready for an art show. And there's a few things that are important. Obviously, like I mentioned, you need to make sure that they're all signed. But the other really important piece, and this is something that my mom made me do every single time I had an art show or sold a painting. Okay, so my mom told me that you have to wire the back of your paintings to be a professional artist, because my mom was an artist. She was a watercolorist. And so I learned from her that it was important to wire the back of your painting so that they're ready to hang on the wall. But the funny thing was, in my early days, I didn't know how to use a drill. And so every time I needed to wire a back of my paintings, I used to have to call her. Mom, can you please come down? I have some paintings I need you to wire. And I think she kind of got a little bit sick of that, because guess what she did? For my birthday one year, she gave me my own drill. And she said, here you go. You can do this on your own. She got me all the hardware, everything that I needed. And then she taught me, which is a good thing because my mom passed away in 2020 and she's not here to wire my paintings anymore. Now, the other piece is that you really need to make sure that you have high quality substrates for art shows. And so these are my minis. These are really what I'm known for. But one of the things I think that I used to really not do in my early days of selling and making art was I would not paint the sides or make them look nice. And it's one thing if you're just gonna leave it blank, especially with the wood, but I was always messy, and so I would get paint splatters everywhere, and so it didn't ever look nice on the sides. And it's really funny because looking through my house, I can always tell what paintings I did 10 years ago because the sides are not painted. You guys have to ignore the mess of my studio. I'm a messy artist. I have stuff everywhere. I really need to clean. But when you have a deadline, there is no time to clean. You just have to get the paintings ready to go. So I am currently packing all of my pieces up, making sure they're signed, and I found these 8x8 pieces of cardboard to pack in with them. Just 2 more minis to go, and then I have to figure out what other paintings I'm going to be taking with me. So yeah, I just have those 2 paintings, and the one in the middle, I don't know. I kind of feel like I don't really love the composition of this one, so I'll probably leave this one home because it needs some work, and that's what happens. So just got to grab that one and that one, and this piece is waiting to dry. This is my daughter's little desk area set up in my studio. So that's what all that stuff is. Anyways, here are all of the paintings and how I am packing them in here. I probably can also get my 10x10s in here as well. So it's Wednesday morning and I woke up this morning and remember I have my co-op with my girls today. So I don't have a lot of time to work on getting all of my paintings ready, and everyone's still kind of asleep, so I'm trying to be quiet. But this morning when I woke up, see, I'm not even awake yet. I realized that I need to put one of these on the back of all of my paintings. And this is probably the most important piece of doing an art show, is to really make those connections with potential collectors. And so what I have on here, and I've shared these in another video, but this is a QR code to join my email list. And it just basically says free print download to join my collectors list. And this is the most important piece, and the one thing that I wish I had done sooner as an artist, which was to gather emails of potential collectors so that I have another way to contact them other than social media, which is very unreliable these days. So, really important. I am going to probably take a little piece of tape and tape one of these to the back of all of my paintings. And I also have to put them in art prints as well. So somewhere in today, I'll probably find time to tape one of these to the back of all the pieces that I already packed. But these are the small little details that are going to make your show successful. So just had to let you know that I just totally spaced that part. It's Wednesday afternoon and we just got back from our co-op, homeschooling co-op, and I have a dilemma because I cannot find my blue painter's tape anywhere. So I might be taking a trip to the store because I can't find my tape in the midst of my messy studio. So right now I'm reaping the consequences of having a mess, right? And so these are just the little small things that pop up that take you time. So again, if you want to avoid stuff like this, then you put your tape back where it goes. And I have no idea what I did with it, but I found some washi tape, which that's not the tape. That's not even, oh, here it is. Okay. So back of the painting, and this type of a canvas, it should be fine because it won't fall, or if it falls, the canvas will catch it. But the idea is to see, this washi tape is a little bit thicker, but I might go to Hobby Lobby real fast and find something cuter that kind of goes with my branding, just to make it more appealing. Anyways, sorry, I'm stepping out of the shot there. Anyways, the point is that I want to take my cards, and the nice thing about washi tape is actually it won't damage anything, so that's kind of nice. Okay, there we go. Sorry, I couldn't talk to you and tape at the same time. I'm not that talented. Okay, so it should look like this. And so what I'm gonna do is tape my little cards on the back of all of my paintings. And then the other thing that I just realized that I need to do in the midst of my day was I realized that I also need to actually take all of these paintings off of my website just so that they don't sell while I have them at the store. And so that's probably the other thing that I'm gonna go ahead and do today. I also need to grab the bigger pieces, make sure that those are signed and also ready to go. But I'm getting really close, and because I've done this a few times, it shouldn't be too much work. Even if I don't get it all done today, I can probably go tomorrow. And I might just put my youngest daughter to work taping all of my cards onto the back of my paintings, since she is my little helper and is always looking for ways to help me in my studio. So I will probably do that either later today or after I go find some cuter tape, or maybe I'll just use this. But yeah, my studio is such a mess. I can't even find my painter's tape. So I don't know. It's the Thursday morning before my art show, and I'm headed down to Meraki Springs because I have an appointment to meet with Megan, the shop owner. And I am dropping off all of my art to her, showing her all of the pieces. And together we are making a note of all the different sizes and prices. And I love working with Megan because she hangs all the art for the art walks, and it makes it so much nicer. Some shows you have to hang yourself, and so she always does such an amazing job hanging the art, and I just love working with her. So what exactly is an art walk? And I just thought I would take a minute to explain that, just because some people have never heard of art walks before. So in our local area, we have several different areas downtown in our city where the first Friday of every month, all the shops will highlight one local artist. And so what you can do is you can come down on that particular Friday night and walk through all of the shops and get to see all of the local artists and buy pieces. And there's usually wine or drinks included. And it's just a really great way to connect with the community. And it's a great experience for any artist to participate in an art walk. Anyways, I like to keep some of my art down at Meraki Springs year round. So I just dropped off my art and I won't be back
It's Friday
until
morning,
tomorrow.
the day of my art show, and I'm not awake yet, but I already had a haircut appointment this morning scheduled months ago. So I was just thinking, perfect timing. Dropped off my art yesterday, but then I literally had a emotional breakdown last night over something totally unrelated. But it just made me realize one of the most important points that I want to emphasize and reiterate to especially newer artists that I think people don't really talk a lot about. And the fact that as artists, we tend to be a lot more introverted. And so anytime you are putting yourself out there as an artist and you are having to show up in a space where you are showing off your art and you are physically there, it can be one of the most mentally exhausting things. And honestly, I feel like, even though my mental breakdown was about something totally different, even though it had to do with my business, it really had more to do with the art show and just almost like this emotional buildup leading up to the event. And so one of the things that I just want to encourage you with is to really make space on the day of your art show for doing things that really nurture you, and make space for rest and for just taking care of yourself. And one of the things that I was thinking as I was preparing today was that I should have scheduled myself a massage. And so note to self, schedule yourself a massage the next time you have an art show, because I think it's just so important to take care of yourself mentally and to show up as your best self, right? And so I just wanted to encourage you, especially if you have never done an art show, it is normal to have some of those frazzled, vulnerable emotions as you prepare. but just make space for feeling those things and for doing things that refresh you ahead of time.
Kissing the players and buying beers, telling everybody your deepest fears. And anyone with half-decent vision can see right through the bad veneers. Now I've been hearing stuff about you and the slippery business you like to do, hanging where you're not supposed to. And I know that one of these days you'll get stuck in some mud you can't get through. You walk that walk, unaware of the destination. Your hand out for an invitation, and I'm losing patience. You talk that talk, then step back with the hesitation. Foot in the middle of a situation, and I'm losing patience. Just have another cigarette. I don't think that you're there quite yet.
I so loved the way that Megan hung the show. It was so incredibly beautiful. And it was actually really kind of fun for me because I was surprised showing up to my own art show, and I love the way that she hung all of the pieces. And I think one of my favorite things about the evening was just interacting with all of my customers, and it was so great. I invited almost everyone that I knew to my art show, and so many of my friends and family came, but also the shop gets so much traffic that there were literally hundreds of people coming through the shop. And it was just so much fun to talk to all the people and ask them what their favorite pieces were. And it was just so amazing. I loved every minute. And I ended up selling probably around 5 or 6 pieces. I don't remember exactly. The nice thing is that my artwork will continue to stay up for the whole month of May so that people can buy at any time. The collaborative art piece was so much fun. I brought in an abstract and asked everyone to contribute to it. And so all of my guests were able to add on. It was just a really fun project, and eventually I have plans to actually take this piece that everyone has contributed to and make something out of it. The other really fun thing about the evening was that there was live music, and that was so much fun.